Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. Now follows that you know young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, colleagued with the dream of his advantage. He hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all bands of law, to our most valiant brother. We have here rid to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gait herein, and we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand, forebearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king more than the scope of these delated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
In that, and all things, will we show our duty.
We doubted nothing. Heartily, farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit, Laertes. What is it? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice, huh? What wouldst thou beg, Laertes, that shall not be my offer, not thy asking? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
Dread, my lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence, though willingly, I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave, my laborsome petition. And at last, upon his will, I seal my heart consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take that fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son,
a little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knighthood colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that live must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black. No, nor the fruitful river in the eye, together with all forms, moods, shows of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father, his father lost his. The survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be, we pray, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note you are the most immediate to our throne, with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, bend you, to remain here within the cheer and comfort of our eye. Our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling in my heart. In grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannons to the clouds shall tell, and the king's rouse to heaven shall brew it again, re-speaking earthly thunder. Come away!
Sully flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God, God! How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fine, Tom, fine. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king. It was to this. Hyperion to a Satan. So loving to my mother. That he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. Within a month. Ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother. Yet no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month. And yet the salt from most unrighteous tears had left a flushing in her galled eyes. She married. Oh, most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
I'm glad to see you well. Horatio, or I do forget myself.
Say, my lord, it took more serpent there.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. What make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus?
My good lord.
I'm very glad to see you. Good even, sir. What in faith make you from Wittenberg, Horatio?
Truant disposition, good my lord.
I would not hear your enemy say so, nor shall you do mine ear that violence to make a truster of your own report against yourself. I know you are no truant. What is your affair at Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ere I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Oh? Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all, I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, till I may deliver upon the witness of this gentleman this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had this gentleman, Marcellus, with Bernardo on their watch, in the dead vast and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure, like your father, armed at point exactly, capopied, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes within his truncheon's length, whilst they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This, to me, in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them the third night kept the watch, whereas they had delivered both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet, once we thought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock grew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
It's very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. We did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed. Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
I do, my lord.
Armed, say you?
Armed, my lord.
What, looked he frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
And fixed his eyes upon me.
Most constant.
And would I had been there.
He would have much amazed you.
Very like. Very like. Stayed it long.
While one with moderate haste might tell 100, and then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. I've heard the cock that is the trumpet to the morn doth with its lofty and shrill sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit highest was confined. And of the truth herein, this present object made probation.
I will watch tonight, perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I will speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you both. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So farewell. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves is mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit, and convoy is assistant, do not sleep. But let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more, but so.
But think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor cottle doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear, his greatness wage, his will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself. For on his choice depends the safety and the health of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too great a dear you list his song, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister. And keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The chariest maid is prodigal enough if she unmask her beauty to the moon. Virtue itself scapes not calumnious strokes. The canker galls the infants of the spring too oft before their buttons be disclosed. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the fact of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long. Ah, here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet here, Laertes? Aboard! Aboard! For shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail you're stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory see thy character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged comrade. And beware of entrance to a quarrel. But being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. For peril oft proclaims a man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend. And borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, till thine own self be true, and must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time awaits you. Go. Your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia. And remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, that he has said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me that he have very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself of your audience have been most free and bounteous. Now if it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in the way of caution, I must tell you that you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor. Now what is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord of late, made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Miss Mary, I'll tell you, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby which obtain these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tend to yourself more dearly, or not to crack the wind of the poor phrase running it thus, you'll thunder me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to.
And have given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul ends the tongue vows. From this time be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence. Set your treatments at a higher rate than the command to barter. As for Lord Hamlet, believe so much in him if he is young, and with a larger tenor may he walk than may be given you. Now this is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Now look to it, I charge you, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
right shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
Think it might be 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed. I heard it not. Then, it draws near the season wherein the spirit held is wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse. Keeps wassail, swaggering up spring reels. While he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out in triumph of his pleasure.
Is it a custom?
Aye, better yes. But to my mind, though I am native here and to the manner born, it is a custom more honored in the breach than the observance.
Well made sort that this portentous figure comes armored to our watch, so like the king.
Both it is to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell, the graves stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets. And even the like precursors of fierce events have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatured countrymen. Resolved. Behold, lo, where it comes again.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intent wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me. What may this mean that thou, dead corse, again revisits thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous? And we fools of nature so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if each sovereign power did desire to alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. But do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then it will follow.
Do not, my lord.
But what should be the fear? I do not set my life in a pin's feet. And for my soul, what can it do to that being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I will follow it.
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles and o'er its base into the sea below, and there assume some other horrible form of which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness?
It waves me still. Go on! I'll follow thee!
shall not go.
Hold the hand! My faith cries out and makes me spending out in this body as high as the meaning eye its nerve! Still am I called unheavy, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away! Go on! I'll follow thee!
I is desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey.
Have after to it issue this come.
He's rotting in the state.
Heaven will direct it.
Yeah, let's follow him.
Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour has almost come when I, to sulphurous and tormenting flames, must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. but that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, and make thy eyes like stars start from their spheres. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love. God. Revenge is foul and most unnatural. Murder most foul. As in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to note that I with wings as swift as meditation on the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. Thus the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
My prophetic soul, my uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, oh, wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce. Won to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there. From me, whose love was of that dignity, that it went hand in hand, even with the vow I made to her in marriage. And to decline upon a wretch, whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue as it never will be moved, though lewdness courted in the shape of heaven, so lust, though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Hebenon in a vial, and in the porches of mine ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, take not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother, aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near and begins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Remember me!
Host of heaven, O earth, what else? Shall I couple hell? Fie, hold my heart, and you, my sinews grown up instant old, would bear me stiffly up, remember thee! I thought, poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, remember thee! Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records. All saws of books, all forms, all precious past that youth and observation copied there, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter, yes, by heaven!
Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain,
Villain, smiling, damned villain! My tables. Read it as I set it down. That one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, Uncle, there you are. And now to my word. And is it you? But you. Remember me. I have sworn to.
My lord!
So be it.
My lord!
Ho, 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 boy, come, bird, come!
How is it, my lord? My lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Could my lord tell it?
No, you will reveal it.
Tell my lord, by heaven.
Nor, my lord, how say you then? Could heart of man once think it, which will be secret?
By heaven, my lord.
There's ne'er a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right. You are in the right. And so without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You with your business and desire shall point you, as every man has business and desire, such as this. And for mine own poor part, look you, I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
Sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offense too, touching on this vision here. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. For your desire to know what is between us, or master it as you may. And now, good friends, as you are, friends, scholars, and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord, we will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not. Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here, you must swear. Never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you at such time seeing me never shall by some ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me, this not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you swear. With all my love I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. Come, let us go in together. And still your fingers on your lips, I pray. Time is out of joint. Cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together.
How now, Ophelia, what's the matter?
Alas, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet, his doublet all unbraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly, I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er my brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long, stately so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound that it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come with me, I will go seek the king. For this is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passion under heaven which does afflict our natures. I am sorry that... Oh, what, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters, and
denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to wrap thee. Come, go we to the king. This must be known. Which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we did much long to see you. The need we had to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So call it, since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be, more than his father's death that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and sith so neighbor to his youth and behavior, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies you may draw him on to pleasures and to gather, so much as from occasion you may glean whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am to men there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties, might by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more to command than to entreat.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, one of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
The heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? Assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it hath used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
No, speak of that, that do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace to them and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our o'er hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift it. Welcome, my good friends. Save Ultimate, what from our brother Norway.
Most fair return of greetings and desires. On our first, he's endowed to suppress his nephew's levies. Sends out arrests on 14 broads, which he in Greece obeys. Receives rebuke from Norway, and in fine makes vow before his uncle nevermore to give the assay of arms against your majesty.
This likes us well. Go to your rest. At night we'll feast together. Most welcome home.
This business is well. my liege and madam. To expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night's night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is but to be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. Mad, let us grant him then. And it now remains that we find the cause of this effect. Or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect defective comes by cause. And thus it remains. And the remainder lasts. Prevent. I have a daughter. I have, while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience mark hath given me this. Well, now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. Well, that's a ill phrase. A vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. You shall hear thus, in her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Well, came this from Hamlet to her?
Stale, how good madam, I will be faithful. Dost doubt thou the stars are fire? Doubt that the sun doth move? Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill with these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best. Believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to hear. Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me. And more alive hath his solicitings as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescripts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. And this done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, and thence into a fast, and thence into a watch, and then into a lightness, and then into a weakness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very like.
Has there been a time, I'd fain know that I have positively said 'tis so when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Well, take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the said door.
How may we try it further?
Well, you know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. You and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
But look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, away, I do beseech you both, away. I'll board him presently. Give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, Madam Mercy.
Do you know him, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my
For
lord.
if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
I'll say you by that he's still harping on my daughter. Yet at first he knew me not, said I was a fishmonger. He's far gone, far gone. And truly, in my youth I suffered much extremity for love very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words.
What is the matter, lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slander, sir. But the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards. Their faces are wrinkled. Their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum. And that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands. All which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, shall grow old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
Well, this be madness, yet there's method in it. Will you walk out of the air, sir?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. Pregnant, sometimes his replies are. Happiness and madness often hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I'll leave him, and suddenly contrive a means of meeting between him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go seek the Lord Hamlet, there he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent friends! How dost thou, Guildenstern? Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you go?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. Well, on fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Another souls of a ship?
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about a waste, or in the middle of her favors. Faith of privates, we. In the secret parts of fortune. Most true, Jesus struck it. What's the news?
None, my lord. But that the world's grown honest.
And it's doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one?
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams themselves indeed are ambition. For the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly. And I will ambition of so airy and light a quality, that it is but a shadow's shadow.
What make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. Then sure, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? At your own inclining, is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why anything, but to the purpose. You were sent for. And there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to cover. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you, by the rights of our fellowship, by the constancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, that by what more dear or better proposer could charge you withal, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay then, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery and your secrecy?